I can't help but be racist. It's true.
Eight years ago, Swapfire twisted your mind on Wii U. And right now, it's officially back in action on Steam. Beam into the mind-bending world of Swapfire and duke it out in the greatest game show of 2139. Shoot your opponents to swap spots so you can outwit and outmaneuver each other in Swapfire's arenas. Fly solo or with up to 4 players via split screen or Steam remote play together. And keep the contest going with 9 game modes to unlock. Scan the QR code on your screen to secure Swapfire today.
you, child. When I vomited in the bed,
You will learn the wisdom of your
I'm not even
elders.
fucking with you.
Well, let me tell you this, Linda.
Well, welcome to the show, fellas. Welcome to Gabbin Games for the 13th of the year of our Lord 2020-something, 2025. Nice to see ya. Good to see you again. If we saw you earlier this morning for the morning show, Jaffe Talks Games, welcome back. I appreciate it. This is the show where we cover the top 10 news stories of the day in the world of the video games. Let's settle in for a minute, though. We have to settle. It has been a very long day in a good way. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of cool conversations, cool meetings, cool prep for the show. Played with my dog. You know how it gets, son of a bitch. Listen, it is nice to see everybody. How you doing, chat? Let's go to the chat for a minute before we jump into the show proper, because we got a very packed show with a lot of good content to get to. We got, oh my goodness gracious, we got some Grand Theft Auto probable news. We got some Bungie news. We have a little bit more Switch news. I have a prediction. I'm going to go out on a limb and make a prediction of what the secret or what one of the games is that we're going to see when it gets unveiled, which is looking more and more like this Thursday. I'm hearing more and more of that from folks who are in the know. We've got conversations to be had on Marvel Rivals. We have a lot of things. But first, I want to take a sip of the wine. Wink is wise as dyke. Oh my God. And seriously, thank you so much for spending the wrap up of your day with me and good Sir Tech Protect, who's in the chat right now, producing this show. I appreciate it. Thank you for spending some time with us and going, hey, this is where we come to get our video game news as the day wraps up. I appreciate it. Rocker Matt says, Jaffe, have you tried or seen the trailer for the new Twisted Metal fan game? No. Would I Google Twisted Metal fan game? If that's, tell me if is it based on Twisted Metal, or it's just someone inspired by Twisted Metal wants to make their own card combat. If it's like a Twisted Metal fucking game, please let me know. I would love to Google that and look it up and watch it with you guys on the stream. You can't link it. I don't think you can link in the YouTube, but what do I type? That's pretty amazing. Let's look at that together, shall we? Hang on. I want to see that before we kick off the show. Hang on. Oh, you guys ever heard that song? Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. And my darling Clementine. Remember that when he was like, oh, no, she just fell down the well. Don't link it. Just tell me what to type. Come on now. We got to get the show rolling. I don't want to go to the goddamn Discord. Just what do I fucking look up? Come on now. You heard that song in the old timey cartoons. Let me ask you a question, Mutant Mo. Mutant Mo is makes his ducats by being in the pornography trade. Explain this to me. You ever go to the porn sites? I'm sure you do. And sometimes you'll see the ads for porn sites, but it'll be that, I made a video about this ages ago, but it hadn't changed. It's called Wacky Sax, or that kind of like Benny Hill fucking music. Why wouldn't that be the first thing to turn off anybody? I mean, you would turn off a fucking dude who was ODing on Viagra and him pills, right? Isn't it called Wacky Sax or something, where it's like you see them like, hey, it's like an old Keystone Cops thing. I'm like, why is that the way they choose to advertise pornography? I don't understand it, but it's a thing. Type Twisted Metal. Okay, Twisted Metal the fan game. I did read the piece on Neil Gaiman. If you're talking about the sexual abuse and all that shit, yeah, I saw that. Let me see if there's any copyright music in this thing. No, all right, this is cool. Somebody made a Twisted Metal fan game. All right, well, let's watch this before we kick off the proper show. This could be fun. This is neat. Here we go. It's only a couple minutes. I'll stop it if it gets boring. Here we go. Oh, that's the version of Sweet Tooth you're going with? That's very PS2 looking. Oh, you remade the dish and the arena together. That's kind of cool. Got some axle power. Cool, man. That's so awesome. That's a blast from the past, dude. I wonder if it's online. This looks very TM2 and 3 inspired, or 3 and 4 inspired, though. Not in terms of the levels. That's level from TM2 right there, but the radar and the vehicles. Well, there's Twister, but Sweet Tooth certainly does not look like the Sweet Tooth I know and love. Thumper, Warthog. Oh, that's cool, man. How neat. How neat to see my boys back. Is it all single player? Split screen? Can't be online, is it? 25 characters. Holy shit, camole. They're blowing up buildings. Oh my God, Scott Campbell and the boys in Utah would be proud. What do we got? Got a snow level. I mean, this is what it felt like when we were getting builds for the PS1. It was like, oh, this is exciting. I love seeing this so much. Oh my goodness. It's like going home. I'm so glad somebody did this, man. It's like, do you think Sony will make them take it down? No, Sony would have to actually acknowledge Twisted Metal for them to even care. Don't make them take it down. That means Sony would have to actually openly, publicly own the fact that they own Twisted Metal. God forbid. PlayStation Productions would. But you know, this is the Sony. They don't want to be remembered by this. I guess there's not enough pathos and story, and it's not about the human condition. Fuck you! Look at that tornado. Go Twister, go! Oh my boys. Oh, I missed you guys so much. I love you guys. Get him, Twister. Get him. I like that camera too. I wonder what is this? Unity or Unreal? Probably Unity. No. Probably Unreal. Sorry. Not Unity. I mean, it could be either, honestly, but they got pedestrians too. On a play. Wonder how long they worked on this fucking thing. This is cool, man. But this is what I'm saying. Think about this. This used to take a team of about 15, 20 people. Now it looks like 1 or 2 people doing it. Times they are changing, thank God. Out for PC today. You better make it free. I mean, I don't care. I'm happy if you want to make money off it, but it's not my call. Just don't let Sony know you're doing it. They probably, again, they won't care. I mean, they might, but I doubt it. I hope they don't. Fuck it. You made a cool game. You did more with the license this year than they've done. Okay, just change the Sweet Tooth, pal. Don't be a moron. You almost got a home run there. And you got the worst version of the Sweet Tooth truck, and you got the worst goddamn version of the Sweet Tooth character. Come on now. What are you doing? What is that, though? Oh, that's from the head-on game. Okay. Ooh. Cool. Come on, fix a Sweet Tooth. How long is this going to take you, buddy? Okay, we get it. Trailer's going on too long. Let's go. We get it. Download now. Nice. That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. Yeah, Brandon says these are the kind of things keeping the game alive. You goddamn right. I got no complaints on this. Who made this? Angel Mendez. Let's see. The game works with a PS4 controller. It has to be connected to Bluetooth, so it has to be wireless or it'll mess up the mapping. There's no online, of course, I don't think. But yeah, okay, cool. I'll give it a try. 25 endings. They even put endings. They even have endings. How cool is this? Oh, man, how neato. I love it. Jaffe, since I started my priest education, I have no desire to watch porn. Any thoughts? Sucks to be you. That's my thought. Okay. Rocker Matt, if you guys, I don't want to reach out to him and be Rocker Matt says I should reach out to the guy who did the Twisted Metal thing and offer him feedback and play test it on stream. I would if he wants me to, but I don't want to ask him for me because he might feel compelled to say yes, and he might be like, no, I'm good. So I don't want to do that, but that's cool. That's very, very cool. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. I'll take a look at that this evening. Okay. This is the Gavin and the Game Show. We have a couple things I want to hit before we get to our top 10. I guess it's kind of what I like to call, I don't know, I think the kids in the business call it. Wait, hang on.
Housekeeping?
Oh, what? Hello?
Housekeeping?
Open the door or I'm going to
Housekeeping.
throw rocks through your windows, you dumb whore.
I understand. It is time for a little bit of housekeeping. Not much. I want to let you know that if you tuned into the morning show today, we were going to be talking about, we talked about the Switch. There's some more Switch news coming in this show. We also talked about wrap-up CES gameplay stuff they showed. But we were going to talk about the Transformer video game. That has been moved to tomorrow's show. So letting you know that. I thought the conversation we had about the Switch was interesting today, though. One of the things that we got a technical snafu and we ended up getting kind of knocked offline, but where we were going with the conversation to me was really, really interesting because I think it was Morgan who was very insistent that, because I was saying, look, you know, I'm interested but not excited is kind of my new mantra. I'm interested but not excited in the fact that the Switch 2 is going to be announced this week, especially if there's some interesting first-party games. But I said, you know, I think the Nintendo magic is kind of, at least in the Switch era, it was kind of gone for me. And a number of people got really upset, not upset, but they pushed back in the chat. And Morgan's like, what about Bayonetta 3? What about Astral Chain? What about Kirby? What about Yoshi's Crafted World? And I was like, you know, I said to her and I said to the people in the chat, I said, I really, this generation was only compelled to go out and pick up because there was so much more to play and Nintendo never drops their prices. And there's so many backlog games and indie games that I just didn't feel the urge to find something to play. There was always something waiting in the wings. So I'm not going to drop $60 on Astral Chat or Astral Chain. And I'm not going to drop $60 on Yoshi's Crafted World. I would now because they said it was really good. But my point is what she said to me. She says, so if you've only played the Nintendo Switch mainline games, it would make sense you would think that the magic wasn't there this generation. But if you kind of played deeper into the library of exclusives, you would go, oh no, that Nintendo magic is still there. So that was good to hear. I mean, it makes me want to go play some of these games, but my experience with the mainline, of course, I loved Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom. Sorry, I love that one more. I loved Echoes of Wisdom. There were some great Switch games, but I didn't find it like I'm not chomping at the bit for a new one at all. So, you know, we'll see. Shasa Lai says, I agree with Jaffe. There haven't been a Nintendo game I want to play since Fire Emblem Three Houses, right? Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people clearly are not in sync with us though, because most people wanted the Switch. I did a poll and 41% said they'd rather have a Switch than any other handheld coming out. So, okay. So anyway, the point is though, I thought that was interesting. You know, you guys are saying the Steam Deck is greater than the Switch, says Bob. Well, what I'll say is because of that topic, I did some research on it and and I'm going to say it wrong. Tech Protect was telling me how to say it, but I've already forgotten. To me, it's the Rogue Ally X, Rose, whatever the fuck it's called. That if I buy a handheld, unless something crazy comes out for the Switch that I have to have for Switch 2, and it might, by the way, I'll tell you my prediction of the game they're going to reveal this week. But short of that, I think the Rogue is better than the Steam Deck. Okay, Tech is saying you say ROG, R-O-G. I'm supposed to say ROG? Fuck it, the Rogue, whatever. The point is, it can run Steam games, it can run Game Pass games, and Windows is going to be bringing their Windows Xbox OS to it. It's so many games, so many price points. I can't fathom why I would choose a Switch over that. But if the game that I think is coming that's going to be an exclusive, which I'm going to tell you a little bit later in the show, is indeed coming, then it may be worth, $3.99 or whatever it is. We'll have to see. Rogue. He says, like rug with an O. Rug with an O would be rogue, right? But you're not spelling it like that. You're spelling it R-A-W, ROG. You mean like a long O, ROG? How would it be rogue without the vowels altering the sound of the O? It would be rogue or ROG, but why would I want to call it the ROG? What the fuck does the ROG mean? It's dumb. They can go fuck themselves. The point is, Nintendo. Okay. All right. Let's get to the news. I've broken this down for you kids. I want to give you. I'm sorry. Two quick things in the housekeeping. Member stuff. We always do member stuff. Last week, because we were kind of fucked up with just getting everything up to speed for the year, we missed an event. We will be, Tech Protect and I will be talking tomorrow about what the members' events are coming up in the next 10 days, whether that's another lunch with Jaffe, pot and popcorn, movies, something else. So we'll get the members some benefit list coming up in the next day or two. Wanted to let you know that. Also, before we get to the number 10 news story of the day, which I think you're going to be interested in, well, they're all really good. There's a lot of good news today, is I want to do, can I do one final pass, if you don't mind, at some of the really cool things that were at CES that we haven't talked about yet. I know, you would think I'm obsessed with CES. It's not a long thing. It'll take us about 4 minutes to go through tops, but I just know there's some of you guys that are like me that like the tech, and I want to show you some weird shit. And once we're done, we will move on to the news story. Okay? The news stories of the day. Here we go. This is Sony. This comes from Sony, and I haven't shown you any of these, so these will all be brand new. Don't be a little baby. There's no more robot ladies. We've already talked about that. Sony unveiled a futuristic robot suit. I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's cool. Look at this thing.
This is not from a game, but footage shot at CES 2025. This wearable robotic suit at the Sony stand brought the world of Horizon Zero Dawn to life. This is not from a game, but footage shot at CES 2025.
That's cool.
This wearable robotic suit
And
at the Sony stand brought the world of Horizon Zero Dawn to life. This is not from a game, but footage shot at CES 2025.
Okay, here's more. You see this? This is amazing. This is incredible. Look at this. I mean, come on. So he's got a little device in his hand that moves the leg. So obviously he's not able to walk. I mean, he's able to functionally walk. But think about that. Isn't that amazing? He holds the thing and it pushes forward and he's able to maneuver via walking. That's amazing. This I want badly. ADD people, look, I brush my teeth twice a fucking day, but I hate it. It is so boring. I've been wanting one of these since they showed it last year at CES, but they haven't released it yet. I hope it's out now. You basically just do this and you're done. You brush all your teeth, front, back, in between. And,
this is our Y-Brush
instantly.
Toothbrush.
Takes you like a minute.
Y-Brush brushes all of your teeth simultaneously thanks to its Y shape. And you get a whole clean in under 20 seconds. So you just turn it on. It has different modes. You just choose the mode, turn it on, it vibrates.
You goddamn right it vibrates. Based on the base method. Who the fuck gives a shit? Just does it work? Clearly it works. I do it every day, but I hate brushing my teeth. Twice a day, actually. But this? Whoo, lordy, how great is this gonna be? Tell me at the end of this video. I've not watched the video yet. Tell me it's available. As you bite down, the bristles vibrate to clean every surface of your teeth. I don't know if that's the proper...
Put it in your mouth, like this shows. You just
put it in your mouth,
on it
idiot.
very lightly,
yeah,
and then twist side to side. The timer will tell you when you're done. Twist it, 10 seconds, and you're done. You have a full, clean teeth in under 20 seconds.
Come on now. Thorough and efficient. You even have to use toothpaste? When is this coming out? I want to try this. Each Y brush boasts an impressive battery life of 3 months. Okay.
So you can just take it out and just plug it into the Sonicare you have.
Oh, you don't even...
This is for $39.99, and you can just... this will be available in February. You can buy the whole thing from us if you want.
Fuck it. I'm getting one. The Y brush. You goddamn right. It won't sell in Alabama, says Sky. Well, yeah, because you have to have teeth to use it, but... They need to make one for people in Alabama just for one big tooth. Okay, can they sponsor me? Yeah, Tech Protect, reach out, baby. Please, for the love of God. I love that thing. Yeah, Mutant Mo says, you're not done, don't you have to clean it? Yeah, I don't clean my toothbrush. I mean, I clean it, but I don't like put it like through a process. I just run it under the water and make sure it's kind of rinsed off, and I put it in a little cap that's sealed, and that's it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, let's move forward. This we saw, whatever. This we talked about earlier on the show. Whatever. This is kind of underwater AI exploration robots. That's pretty cool. I want this. Look at this. It is a robotic card dealer. You tell it the game you're playing, how many people. Now, the question is, what I don't know is if you're playing a game like Texas Hold'em, does it shoot it out to you? How does it know when you're ready for another card? If you say, if you want to stand or whatever. I'm assuming there's a way to tell it that, or maybe it's got sensors, but that's pretty fucking cool. The robotic card dealer, that's fantastic. This is a toaster-like device that charges your phone in seconds. Can it do Uno, says Thanatos. I hope so. Yeah, the bot, Sky Gonzalez is talking about the bot from Star Wars Outlaws. When you play that game in Outlaws they created, it's this arm that comes out of the table, and it's really cool. There you go. Anyway, so, okay, let's get to the news, but I wanted to share that with you because I thought that was pretty fucking neat. Okay. But Hold'em, though, you can still, yeah, you're right. That is blackjack. But in Hold'em, don't you throw in like 3 cards and get 3 cards back, though. So it would have to recognize, okay, he wants 3 cards now. He's given up 3. He wants 3 back. I don't know if it can do that, but okay, let us begin. Let's talk about the news of the day, my delightful friends. It'll toast your phone, the toaster. It says it literally does it in like 5 seconds. It fully charges it. The robot woman at CES wasn't 100K. She's 175K. And would I get one? I would get the little bust. I would get the head that can sit next to me, but I would not be interested in the robot woman one because what do I do with it? It's not like a real sex robot that can walk around and be like in, or a hologram that can be in Blade Runner 2048. So no, but I would love the little bust of the woman, the head of the woman, meaning not the, you know what I'm saying? And she could sit next to me during the show. That would be fun. Okay. Okay, let's move forward. I want to talk about this. I think it's really interesting. PlayStation, story number 10. PlayStation has revealed December's top downloads. This was Christmas time, the full month of Christmas. And there's some interesting takeaways in here. Basically, the usual suspects are represented, right? Call of Duty's at the top, NBA 2K, number 3's Madden, blah, 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 blah. Nothing really all that unique. It is interesting because, a lot of things were on sale. Phasmophobia that launched for consoles that month was number 6. That was pretty cool. But here are the ones that I thought were worth talking about. The first one is... It was nice to see. I'm assuming it's because it was on sale, but I do want to let you know, and I checked, it's not on sale anymore. But it was nice to see in the top 15 Ubisoft's Crew Motorfest, and it's a little higher up in the UK. I think it's in the top 10. It's now jumped back to $70, but the Crew Motorfest is so good. It is better than Forza Horizon. It is so much fun. It controls so great. And I know that arcade racers don't really rule the roost like they used to, and it may not be your cup of tea, but if you've been craving an arcade open world racer with tons of content, great controls, it's delightful. I highly, highly recommend it. Unfortunately, it's still going to cost you $70. It was interesting that Astrobot didn't really get the big Christmas bump I think a lot of people were expecting. It had won, or a couple weeks into the month, it had won the game of the year. It is sitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's at number 10. A lot of people were like, oh, just wait, it's going to do great over the holidays. I kind of thought it might as well. But if you're looking at the December charts, it was 10 in America, and it was like number 14 in the UK. So, it is what it is. A lot of people love that game. I didn't love it. It wasn't for me, but it was clearly a wonderful, well-made, beautiful game. But I just think Sony continues to struggle when it comes to trying to hit the family market. Listen to this, though. Look what jumped. I mean, it never goes away, but it jumped really high. It's back in the top 10. Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy. That was selling for it's selling for $20 right now. If you go to the PlayStation sale, you can get the deluxe edition for PS4, PS5 that comes with some extras for $20. I may finally just buy it, but I think I'd like to buy it on PC. But still, Hogwarts Legacy, that's pretty cool to see. And then it goes into the free-to-play. Now this, I have to assume, if you're Sony, unless I'm missing something, is disappointing. On December 6th, and this is the December charts, on December 6th, there's a game that came out from Sony. And these motherfuckers were nowhere to be seen. Number 1, Marvel Rivals. Number 2, Fortnite, Roblox, UFL, Rocket League. Rocket League is still in there. Warzone, Call of Duty, Infinity Nikki, Asphalt Legends, Fall Guy, Valorant. Guess what is not on there? A free game. One of the best-selling Sony brands ever. They put out a game called My First Gran Turismo, which was a game that was free. It was meant to get people engaged. It came out on the 6th of December. It had a whole month to sell or to appear on these charts. And I'm thinking maybe the way they classified it is what kept it off the charts, because you would think in the UK at least it would be on there. But I don't see it anywhere. I don't see My First Gran Turismo at all in December. So they can't be happy about that unless, of course, like I said, it was some sort of strange way that they qualified it. Well, PK says, I didn't know it was a game. I thought it was a demo. What does that mean? I mean, I don't know. It's a game that you can download and start buying cars. So I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe the way they quantified it or qualified it was different. So, well, you can say it's a demo, but it's not really a demo. It is, but it's not. It is its own brand. Hello, Master Luke. Good to see you, bud. It is its own brand. Okay, look, I'm not going to argue with you guys because you don't know and I don't know. How they chose to qualify it is what matters. If you're saying, though, that if they qualified it as a demo, then I think you're absolutely right. That would be why. But it's not like it is a demo. It could have been whatever the fuck they wanted to qualify it as. But in this case, oh my God, Stanley, I get it. The LOL stuff drives me crazy. No other demos chart, LOL. Stanley, you're an idiot, LOL. I know. God, I'm saying Stanley of the Cincinnati Stanleys. I don't know if it was qualified as a demo or not. None of us do. God damn. All right, let's continue, Stanley. You and me, buddy. We're going to take on this world together, shall we? Let's get to the next news story of the day. Oh, first I do want to let you know, if you're curious, what games are selling great in America on the PlayStation. Stanley, this goes out to you, buddy. The number one game in America right now, 2K25, then Fortnite, then Call of Duty. Listen to this. This jumped from number 9 to number 4. Marvel Rivals. We're going to talk about Marvel Rivals in just a little bit. Marvel Rivals jumped from 9 to 4. Football, college football is 5. 6 is Madden. 7 is Grand Theft Auto. Soccer is 8. And then bringing up the rear is Roblox. And mighty number 10 is Minecraft. Okay. But yeah, by the way, seriously, Hogwarts Legacy Digital Deluxe Edition, $19.99. Trev Tyler says it says demo in the store. I'm going to go look. But I agree with you in the chat. Calling it My First Gran Turismo? What? Stupid. I mean, Sony's marketing is usually on the ball, but this is pretty dumb. Turismo. Okay. I mean, My First Gran Turismo, it says free. Looking at it right now. It says trial. It doesn't say demo, and it's not the same thing because there are trials that allow you to download a game, and then if you keep it and play it for 2 hours, then it says, hey, do you want to buy it? I have no interest in playing it. It's too hardcore for me. But anyway, there you go. Whatever you want to call it, whether it's a demo or not, or a trial or not, what I'll tell you about it is if the chat is indicative of the audience, nobody was aware of it, frankly. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if it catches fire down the road. Okay. It is very simmy. It's super fucking simmy. Absolutely. Okay. Listen to this. This is pretty strange as well. Number 9 news story. There was a leak today, my friends, and it wasn't in my old man Depends diapers. Do you get it? Because I'm old and I wear diapers and they leak. Dear God, thank you for gracing me with the comedy gene. I'm funny. Okay, listen. Remember the Black Eyed Peas? Anyway, I have met the creator of Gran Turismo once or twice. I mean, he doesn't remember me, and okay. Listen to this. There was a leak today that came out. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I know a lot of you guys aren't interested in it. I am very interested in this game. I think it looks like fun. Every deep dive that they have released. Hang on, you guys, before I get to the story, though. Let's see if Tony's actually paying attention or he's like doing something totally unmentionable with my daughter. Tony, are you there? Don't make a big sound. Let's just see if he's actually watching. Ah, fuck. Well, I'm glad. Good. Keep your hands off. I mean, that's not true. I was never that dad. I was never that dad. I want my children to go out into the universe and have a good time as long as they're safe and with people who respect them. That said, though, Tony's here. Okay, Assassin's Creed Shadow expansion leak details. 10 hours of gameplay coming. They're going to call it the Claws of Awaji. Maybe I'm not saying it right, but it is what it is. Features an additional 10 hours of gameplay. Players can travel to a new location, unlock a new weapon type, as well as skills, gears, and abilities. Other than that, there's no info. But the point is, we know there's a new Assassin's Creed. You're currently playing Bridge, Tony says. I don't even know how to play Bridge. You guys will have to show me when you come out next. Soggy says, DLC already, the game's not out. Yeah, but they plan this stuff well in advance, just like with Star Wars. So the game was coming out February 14th. Now it's being moved to March 20th. I'm sorry, I do not believe that it's been delayed to improve gameplay and performance. Everybody knows that Ubisoft is going through a tough time. They are clearly talking to people about buying or looking at options in order to sort of turn their financial misfortunes around. And in that, that's probably what has caused this. I'm sorry, you're not going to delay a game for 4 weeks and get that's already this far along and get that much. You might get your day one patch improved. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay, sorry. Okay, but I will also tell you though that I'm a big fan of Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws dropped their DLC last month, the Lando Calrissian DLC, and it debuted on Steam. Now I know Steam's not the whole picture, but it's a meaningful part of the picture. It debuted on Steam with only 834 concurrent users. So my guess is that the DLC for Outlaws, just like the game, which I thought was great, by the way, didn't do all that well. So we'll see what happens. But that got leaked today. The other thing that happened today was, a lot of things happened today, actually. But there was a tweet, and a guy who follows me called Kirk McKeon over on Twitter wrote this, and I just love his response. So I don't know if you've ever played Lords of the Fallen. I certainly haven't. There's a sequel coming out. The Metascore is sitting at a 75. The user score is sitting at a 6.7. It's kind of like a Souls sort of game, whatever. Okay, so the CEO of the company tweets out, well, the Lords of the Fallen, the team or the PR or whoever tweeted out, we will not integrate DEI elements into our games. Marketing director Ryan Hill confirmed the studio remains committed to producing player-first video games that prioritize excellent user experience with compelling themes and characters created specifically for core and adjacent audiences. While some recent games have taken the opportunity to implement social and political agendas within their experience, Hill continued, the lower than expected commercial performance of some of these games shows many players do not appreciate these elements. As such, the studio will continue to develop experiences that maximize player enjoyment and commercial success. And then the CEO took that as an opportunity to write exactly, no, we will not, basically confirming we will not integrate DEI elements. And then Kirk retweeted that and said, what's the opposite of virtue signaling? Firing up the twat signal? I thought that was pretty good. Good job, Kirk, the twat signal. I haven't heard that one since about high school. It's high school. I haven't heard that one before, Kirk. That was pretty good. But it is an interesting scenario, I think. I think it really does bring up an interesting challenge for developers, right? Because whether or not you are, let's just assume you are progressive or you're progressive enough that you wouldn't think twice about putting anything in a game, that makes sense for your game. And whether or not you're not going to push it like the Dustborn, it's just going to be part of your world. Well, at this point, so many, seriously, I want you to really think about this for a minute. I want you to think about, what if you were a game developer or a game executive? It's a pretty tough conundrum that you are dealing with, because if you run afoul of some of these grifter types, it could fuck your game up. Okay. But at the same time, a lot of the grifter types, not grifter, it depends who you're talking about, but a lot of these guys will tell you, oh, it's not that it was a black guy or a gay guy, it was the writing, or it was in some accurate. But in a lot of cases, we know it's not. It's just some of these people don't like people different than they are. And it brings to mind a really strange challenge, which is, like, I'm looking at NeoGAF right now where they're talking about this news story. And people are saying based as fuck. How are the purple people taking the news? Or being anti-woke is becoming a marketing bullet point, and I love it. This guy says, where'd it go? It says the world is healing. Incredibly nice move, blah, blah, blah. So what is basically, it's not money talk, Starscream. It's not money talk. In the chat, Starscream goes, money talks, and has the, isn't that interesting? It's not money talks necessarily. What is happening is a lot of the cultural commentary has made, even though it's not always justified, has got, in some cases it might be, but in most or all cases it certainly isn't. A lot of the developers have gotten afraid to do anything other. I want you to listen to what I'm saying here, because this is what has been sown from the reaping. What? This is what has been grown in this dirt of assholes. Which is, okay, well, if we want to make a game today, you better put a white dude, make him straight, and that's it. Right? That's what you have to do if you don't want to risk the people who make money and have huge influence, even though a lot of times they don't have a pot to piss in. They're just angry for the sake of getting clicks, but it works for them. Have done, if you follow them and you support them, to some of these artists out there that make this entertainment. You've basically said, hey, you guys want to keep working? That's not a problem. Make them white, make them straight, and you'll be good. Anything out of that, though, not interested, and we will not only not be interested, we will bang the drum online to our very influential eyes, very easily influenced followers, and go fuck yourselves. Make them white, make them straight, or shut the fuck up. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not making shit up. I'm absolutely not making shit up. And what I will also tell you is I know this for a fact because I've spoken with developers this week that are worried about it. This week, that are worried about it with their games. What do? Do we have a romance in the game? It's LGBT romance. It's not pushed. It's not pulled. It's just part of the narrative that the writers came up with. Do we get rid of it? Why would you get rid of it, I say? Well, because it's people, somebody might see it online and want to say that we're trying to be woke and they kill our game when this is not a game about that. It's a science fiction space shooter game. You know, I get it. So anyway, I'm not going to argue with you guys. You look, Darth Nugget says, I guess I am going to argue with you guys. Darth Nugget says, I'm saying you're misrepresenting the problem most have. You don't know the problem most have. I'm not saying that there are certain games that are written poorly that take their desire to express their support of a far left progressive agenda, and in that it harms the writing, and you don't like that. I understand that. I have no problem with that, right? I agree with those agendas, but I don't have a problem with you going, yeah, it's probably poorly implemented and it hurts the problem. I'm with you. But what I don't agree with you on is that there are absolutely very influential YouTubers and Twitter folks and Rumble folks and whatever the fuck these people are on that wake up and search like fucking paparazzi pigs going through the trash of a D-list reality star, hoping for something that they can use to make a story that will get enough clicks to get the rent paid that month. And in that, they will take anything, even if it is not actually what you are saying you're complaining about, Darth Nugget, and they will turn it into a thing. And in turning it into a thing, you basically scare developers and publishers into going, you know what? We'd love to be an industry where we can express ourselves artistically as long as it's well written. Because that, I will agree with you, Darth Nugget, is what most people actually are complaining about. But instead, they're like, we'd love to be that. We're not going to take the chance because why would we? God forbid one of these fucking grifters gets a hold of it. Or if they're not a grifter, they're just a fucking racist. Or maybe they're not a racist or a grifter. They're just not very bright, in my opinion. Either way, it's a problem. Cursing user says no sensible developer would risk their team's future over misunderstood diversity. Right. That's the problem. Da Vinci says, sorry I'm late. I wasn't masturbating. We assumed you were. Thanks for clearing that up, pal. Okay. Gamers didn't always freak out about woke stuff, says Mr. K. Now they wildly exaggerate their freakouts about woke stuff. So don't you think that happened because the excess of woke stuff? I think it honestly happened, because you had the culture. I mean, it's obvious. I'm not saying some of that isn't true, Mr. K. But honestly, the way a preponderance of something the audience doesn't want usually is dealt with is that they simply don't buy it because it's a clean relationship. Sony puts out the 3D TVs. Nobody wanted them. They stopped making them. Okay? This is different now. You've got this middleman that makes their way in the world off clicks of anger. Okay? And in that, you are going to get a lot of things that are amplified that are, in the past would not have raised an eyebrow, that are now. Take the Avengers, right? Take the Avengers Endgame. There is a gay character at the beginning of that movie who is in one of the sessions where all the people after the blip or the snap or whatever is talking about missing his husband. It's a throwaway line. It's not anything, right? If that movie came out this year, last year, we would have probably 1,000 fucking, quote, think piece videos about how the Avengers Endgame is fucking woke. So come on. You know we're in that world. Okay. Let's move forward to the next news story of the day. I told you there was a lot to talk about, my dear friends and Frelettis. It's a side splitter. You know what a pot boiler is? You know, people say, I'm going to write a pot boiler. You know what that is? You know where that comes from? It comes from the Depression era when writers would basically do clickbait. They would write the most salacious yellow journalist shit you could imagine because it would allow them to make enough money to buy chicken dinner for their family, and you have to boil it in a pot, so it's called a pot boiler. Okay, let's move forward. Okay. Shouldn't good games withstand criticism? Yeah, that'd be great. And they do, but they don't necessarily sell. So, end of the day, like a Ravno. What the fuck? It's a spit take. It's a classic comedy tradition. Okay. Let's move forward. Let's move forward, my boys. Listen to this. We'll see how wet this shirt gets by the end. Okay. Yeah, rip keyboard. You're right. Okay. Listen to this. This is pretty interesting. I'm kind of engaged with this story a little bit. I'm kind of interested in this story a little bit. I'm not a big MOBA guy, but details are coming out about Bungie's game. Bungie had a game that was an incubation. You know what I'm saying? They were fucking around with it. Now this is great. You know when you've got a hit. It doesn't always happen. It rarely happens. But I'm telling you, my friends, when it does, holy cow, you go home walking on air. When you make a fucking prototype, and if you're a game developer in the audience, you know what I'm talking about. You've had those moments. You go home from the office because you've worked with the team on a prototype, and it's just almost right out the chute. The loop is fun. It's a joy. Everyone's laughing. You barely have any graphics in the thing, right? Well, this game, codenamed Gummy Bears. I know it's not going to be called that. Codenamed Gummy Bears. Is basically a game that when they were in incubation, they said this was the most fun thing they had ever made. I don't like MOBAs, but they say it's a MOBA Smash Brothers hybrid, meaning that as you take damage, instead of your health bar going down, you take percentage of damage and it knocks you back further and further away from the tower or away off the map. You can fall off the map and die as you are taking more and more damage, right? But you're still trying to sort of defeat the towers and get to the end of the map and the 3 lanes and all that, it sounds like. It's done with more younger players in mind. Again, a mistake, I think, for Sony. It's like, guys, you do not have that audience. Stop wasting your fucking money. But regardless, though, it's done, and I'm assuming everybody can play it, but it's done. It's very colorful. It's very bright. They say it's a very cozy looking, feeling game, but it's a great deal of fun. In the game, you are able to play. It says you have 3 different types of characters. You have attack, support, and defense. This game has been taken away from Bungie. 40 of the Bungie people that worked on it in incubation have moved either into an already existing Sony studio or they formed a new Sony first-party studio. But they are going to continue this game, and apparently it sounds pretty fucking cool from everybody who has played it so far. They also trademarked or patented, this feature, right? They trademarked they patented a system where the towers in the MOBA or in MOBA games can dynamically move, jump, dodge attacks, and use special abilities when charged. So, for example, this is all coming from the gamepost.com. It says a tower might retaliate after taking significant damage by performing a powerful area. But think about that. You damage the tower, but you got to be careful because if it takes too much damage, it makes an area of effect attack and stuns enemies. Such mechanics can introduce new layers of strategy and unpredictability, setting Gummy Bears apart from other games in the genre. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty fucking good. The only thing I wonder about is, especially because this is going to launch clearly on PlayStation 5 or 6, probably 5, and PC, as it's a service game. I'd like to think it's going to be free. We'll see. Is obviously, I mean, I didn't play Paladin, so you guys have to tell me this, but most MOBAs play better with mouse and keyboard. Certainly the ones like League and Dota 2 that are from that camera perspective. If you're playing Paladins or the one that Epic put out that kind of went away and came back, I think it's gone away again, are you able to play a MOBA pretty well with the controller? Because if not, it's going to be really unfair to be playing this on PC and on console against PC players. But regardless, I think it sounds really fun, really cool. I am excited. I like this. I like Sony's doing this. Even though I don't like the MOBAs all that much, I will tell you that I think that's cool, man. I like that they're branching out into something like that. It's very non-Sony. It's very non-Sony. It does say that they're going to have 3 modes. I think that's a mistake. You should never launch a multiplayer game that's brand new with more than one mode. You're going to split the user base right down the fucking middle. Force everybody into the same game for a while. See if it does well, then branch out. Otherwise, you're fucked. We fucked that up with Twisted Metal. Absolutely. Listen to what Mr. K says. No. Why? I don't want to do that right now. He wants me to go to Amazon and read reviews. No, Alex. It's a game show. I don't want to read reviews on gummy bears. But maybe later. Unless you want to get one and read one. And then, tell me if it's funny. Okay. All right. This is where I go into hiding for a moment as I regroup. Oh my God. Should I shave my head again? What do we think? Should I shave my head again? Bukaki says I'm being very difficult and not sponsor friendly. I've talked to about 5 sponsors this week. And let me tell you something. I love this, you guys. Seriously, I love this. 3 of the 5 subscribe to this fucking show, right? And they said, we really like your show. And they said, your audience, we love the engagement with the audience. And they said the audience is actually pretty smart. Some of them are annoying, they said, believe it or not, but they're really smart when it comes to video game conversation. So, hey, fuck you. Fuck you, Bukaki. Yes. Ow. Tech Protect, are you God? Okay, let's focus. Okay. Let's move on. The next news story of the day. Oh, this is really interesting. This story is I got to get these labeled. Thank you, Bukaki. I got to get these labeled on the next show, but that's been story 1, 2. I wanted to make it like a countdown, but without the numbers, nobody cares. 3, 4, 5, I don't know. Let's just say it's 5. Fuck you. Who cares? Here's the point. I want to talk a little bit about Call of Duty. A couple of really interesting things have come out about Call of Duty. First off, this was last week, but it's important to mention the budgets for these games have come out in the lawsuits when these guys were trying to sell to Microsoft from Activision. And they said that Black Ops 3 cost $450 million. The remake of Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare remake, that was $640. And then the recent Black Ops Cold War, if you include the DLC that's coming in plan for $700 million. Now, yeah, Mr. K, I'm thrilled, but that's not what I'm hearing from other sponsors. We have a lot of engagement. We offer other things. But sure, that would be great. $700 million, not including marketing, for Black Ops Cold War. Why am I telling you this? Well, A, it's interesting. It's fascinating, right? But there's also this reason. Let me have you look at your screen here. I have gotten into, and I've always been into Call of Duty. Single player. And the last couple years, I've really gotten into the multiplayer. But I was playing Call of Duty all week long, on and off, and it occurred to me just how much value, if you like Call of Duty, you are getting. And even though I've known about that on paper in the past, to see it as a fan and to go, I'm excited for the new season. There's tons of new maps. There's tons of stuff to chase. There's tons of new modes. It is, and then you can get the core game you bought or get on Game Pass and Warzone for free. It is a just excellent value. A lot of people say Game Pass is the biggest value in games, and it is, but Call of Duty is not far behind. Ravnos, as usual, without offering any insight, he might have been one of the people the sponsors were saying wasn't very smart. He says, value, LOL. Okay, well, explain to me where the LOL is coming from. But yes, my answer is value. Modes, weapons, cosmetics, levels, bundles, events. They're currently doing an event that is Squid Game. So you actually have modes based on Squid Game, like red light, green light. It is like a party that they host year round. And if you like it, they always bring out new shit for you to do. Ravno says, because it's LOL because you have to buy a lot of shit for the content. No, you don't. You don't have to buy anything. What are you talking about? Yeah, okay, but how much do maps cost? 0. You would know if you played. You don't pay for maps in this game. How much do skins cost? Yes, skins are stupidly expensive like they are in every game. But that said, so what? Don't buy skins. That's not, you don't need them now. But here's what I will say. This story surprised me as it relates to Call of Duty. I like how Ravnos' response was LOL when he stepped in it and thought you could actually buy maps. And then when I told him not, he's like, LOL. LOL. Okay. But this is interesting, though. Gamer, the Gamer has a story that says Black Ops has lost almost 50% of its players since launch. Can you guess? And it's not lack of value. Can you guess the main reason that is being suggested as to why? I'll list some of the reasons the article in the Gamer said. But they said it's hemorrhaging players. It said Black Ops 6 has lost 47% of its players since it launched. It says, here might be the reasons. Some people say there are pay-to-win allegations that have resurfaced. That may be true at some high level of play. I have not noticed it. And I'm very susceptible to that shit. Events that have been mixed to poor reactions. I didn't find that. Expensive microtransactions have upset players. That's goofy, but fine. Skill-based matchmaking, I am grateful for. And I don't even understand. I understand how you can complain about it if you don't have ranked mode. But you have ranked mode. So if you really want to test your mettle against other players, play ranked mode. But why would you expect the mainstream mode to be tuned and tweaked in terms of the matchmaking for anyone but Gen Pop? But here's the actual reason. Here's the actual reason that this is, at least the comments are saying that this has collapsed. And I haven't noticed this because I'm frankly not good enough to recognize. But apparently it's the blatant and obvious cheating, says the comments, that the developers don't seem to care about. They seem to care more about the chat bans, but they don't seem to care as much about the cheating. This guy, Michael, says, this guy, Sean's, says, I've been playing Call of Duty for 20 years, and this is the worst era of wall hacks, aimbots, and various other hacks I've ever seen. I love Call of Duty, but I can hardly stomach to play anymore. So yeah, I mean, and they're saying, could you guys please do crossplay just with consoles that has historically less cheating? So that could be a real issue, a real problem that's causing it. Yeah, so Mutant Mo says, I hear a lot about the cheating and hacks online. Do you guys play it and you get a lot of cheating? Ghetto God, explain that to me. Ghetto God says, I'll never play COD again, and that game quite possibly saved my life in 2007, 2008. Why? What happened? And is it the hacks? Would you agree with this group? Soggy says console has even more cheaters. Kronas is, I don't know what that is. I wasn't aware that you had cheaters as much on console. This guy says they need to create a console-only crossplay, but David Forenish says crossplay can be turned off with crossplay. Okay. Yeah, Tech Protect, just put the link up if you want to call in and be part of the show. You can do that on the Discord. We would love to have you. Okay, yeah, I can't tell. I feel like I just suck, says Brett Moore. How do you know they're cheating? I'm sure if you really are focused on it, and you're a hardcore player, you can tell, or if you're recording the footage and you're watching it back. But more often than not, I just suck. And that's that. I haven't called bullshit on it, but it could very well be. Absolutely. Warzone is completely broken, even worse after today's update, says J-Rock. Yeah, I don't play Warzone at all, but okay. I am curious, though, what Ghetto God means. I hope he responds, because he's like, I used to love it. It saved my life, but I'll never play it again. I wonder why. I don't think it was Fortnite, by the way, that took a chunk of the audience away. I'm sure maybe to a degree, but I think I want to know, hopefully Ghetto God will respond before we get back to, he's like, dude, I don't want to. Fine, here's a response. Fuck you. J-Rock says multiplayer and zombies had a lot of bugs they keep bringing back with updates. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, One Pump Man, I'm with you 100%. Hello, world-renowned Geohound. I'm with you, because this I want to talk about. Okay, Ghetto God says Call of Duty is just not fun anymore. They lost me when they put in wall running and jetpacks. Yeah, but those aren't in it anymore, but I hear you. Okay. The new movement is great in the game. The slides and the dives are fucking great, man. Okay. So listen, though. Here, I think Marvel Rivals in the chat, you guys are saying Marvel Rivals. This is the next story, number 4. Marvel Rivals, I need to get my head around this, because I've started playing it again. I played the beta. I really liked it. And then when it came out, I kind of had this experience that Warped Eye was telling me. This was how Warped Eye, when I was talking to him today, described his experience with Marvel Rivals. He says, I spawn, I walk and walk and walk, I find people, and I instantly die. Right? That is absolutely an experience that I think a lot of people have, and a lot of people will continue to have in Marvel Rivals, to the point that I don't understand how this game is doing so fucking well, because, and again, I really like the game, and I'm getting into it more and more. I'll probably play some tonight. I might even stream it. I was talking to Anthony in the chat, talking to Gina in the chat. We may play it together tonight. It's not that it's a skill issue. That's not what I'm arguing about, Controller Sports. I understand. Like today, I was going in with Punisher. No, I was going with Star-Lord at first. And then I was getting my ass kicked, even though I like how fast he is. So I changed to be Punisher. And Hector was in the chat, and he had a good point. At first, I couldn't really do well with Punisher. But when you play with Punisher, and you're playing the escort missions, and you park yourself in front of the escort or where it's coming, and everyone starts coming to you, you really can just fucking unload. It's fucking excellent. It's fucking excellent. But yeah, Bukaki says, Jaffe, I can't understand why anybody would want to put in effort to get good at a game. It's not my point. My point is that when you look at Marvel Rivals, the memes are through the roof. The strategies that you're seeing on Twitter, that you're seeing that these quote think pieces about, are through the roof. It is, I don't want to say it's as popular as Overwatch was when it launched, but it's got a little bit of that heat on it that a game, and I don't know if it'll keep it. Oh my God, I have Rocket Raccoon giving me buffs. It's the shit, dude. Yes. I don't know if it'll keep it, but regardless though, it's got a little bit of that heat, right? And I just wonder, like, what is it about a game that, you know, there's nothing special about Marvel Rivals. It's free. It's on a lot of systems. It's got beloved characters. It's special in that sense. But in regards to why did this take off? And my guess is maybe it is free and young kids can play it and it's fun. But a lot of people will say, yeah, but it's just an Overwatch clone. I like it. I like it. I'm not knocking it. I'm asking, I'm asking, what is it? Oh, and you can practice against bots. That's right. I'm just asking why this one hit as hard as it did. What do you think? Right? It literally got 640,000 concurrent players just on Steam over the weekend. Top of the most played charts. And that's after it's been out for almost a month, right? It made, in the first month, it made $100 million overall. $100 million overall. 54 million on Steam, 27 on PlayStation, 2.7 on Xbox. But still, wait, I get Marvel characters sell, but how come Marvel Snap didn't replace Hearthstone? I mean, it's a successful game, but it's not as successful. Mutant Mode absolutely has bots. It helps you get better at the game. Absolutely. Jaffe, did you play? LOL. That's what the first-person genre needs, the right balance. Interesting mechanics, which most games don't have. Yeah, Marvel Rivals does have really cool mechanics. There's a lot of good mechanics in that game. It's a lot of fun. Sky says he thinks it's the brand of Marvel. That's fine. David Seeger says as much as people pretend to hate it, which I hate because I love it, people love Marvel. Yep. It's currently number 2 on Steam. Okay, cool. I'm reading this article and it says it's number 1 over the weekend. Okay, no one expected Helldivers 2 to do as well either, but there was a lot of hype from a certain corporation with regards to Concord. You mean Sony hyped it up, Trippy? I don't remember Sony hyping it up that much, but okay, here's something else. Now this, I didn't know about this, but I didn't spend a lot of time. Yeah, Mutant Mo says everyone on his buddy list is playing Marvel Rivals. I didn't spend a lot of time playing Marvel Rivals in the first month. I was focused on Call of Duty and other things, Dragon Age. So I missed this, and they got rid of it, although I guess there's a new way you can do it, but it might hurt your computer and get you banned. I didn't even know people were playing with mods. Have you seen the mod skins for this fucking thing? Tech Protect, can you remind us? We need to do a story tomorrow on the top 10 mods of all time. I would love to know what they are. I'd love to talk about that. But the mods on this thing are absolute batshit. By the way, I'm about to change screens, but I'm learning my lesson. Slow as I am. I'm not going to change screen until the Pickpock Into Death ad is off running up there, which is a really cool game. They are not officially a sponsor yet. I hope to romance them. I hope to romance the fine folk at Pickpock. They're a loyal, good group of Amish developers that are making this game without their papas and mamas knowing. That's a total lie, but they are good people. And I'm hoping that they'll actually become a real sponsor of the show. We'll have to see about that. But regardless, and by the way, help me out. Go wish list the goddamn game. Only if you like it. Don't fucking wish list it for pity. But play it on Steam. It's a really cool game. I'll be talking about it later regardless. It's a very interesting game. Give it a wish list over on Steam. Let them know that this is the channel to put their ducats behind. But regardless, we got to wait for I don't have to, but I'm choosing to be a kind steward of their content. And I'm going to wait. Now let's go. I want to show you these mods, these skins. Mods should be banned from crossplay, says David. Well, I mean, these don't affect gameplay. These don't affect... Yeah, that's interesting. Rube, can you articulate more? He says, I hate multiplayer games and would never play Overwatch, but I love Marvel Rivals. What is the reason? I would love to know that. Okay, check these mods out. You may have already seen these, but these are new to me, but they've already been ripped out of the game. You can kind of get them back in, but you probably shouldn't. But check these out. It's only a minute long. This is fucking cool. I wish I would have known about these.
Oh my god, what the Batman? Batman, what are you doing here? Oh my god, okay. How did you do this?
We cooked.
Why does it look so good? Maybe? Oh, my baddie! She baddie, damn! Who was that?
That's Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle is Spider-Man.
Nice.
Black Widow.
Oh, there she is, all right.
You happy? You happy?
Harley Quinn as Black Widow. Lex Luthor as Iron Man. These are great. These are great. Stephen Strange, Doctor Strange is Fate. What's his name? Dr. Fate. The Shark is Crypto. Jeff the Shark is Superman's dog, Crypto. That was, you do what you can with that. Green Arrow is Hawkeye, of course. How cool is this? And they look great, man. Shazam? Who is Shazam? Thor, maybe? Yeah, Thor. Okay. Shazam is Thor. Winter Soldier is Peacemaker. Is that it? Yeah. I mean, that's some cool shit, man. You gotta love that shit. That's so cool. Dr. Fate, yeah. Those are great, says One Pump. Why didn't DC do this first? Why didn't Rocksteady come up with this idea? It's a great question, actually. I don't know. You know, I don't know if anybody has played the attempt at a ripoff that was done by DC for they tried to rip off Marvel Snap or Hearthstone. It was terrible. So maybe they just, I don't know, maybe they just couldn't do it. Okay. I want to get to a little bit of GTA news in just a second. It's important to talk about, but first I want to tell you there was some interesting news that dropped today. It may or may not be the beginning of a brand new great franchise. Would you like to hear about it before we talk about GTA briefly? You got some of the folks that made The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077. Can I get an amen? Shut up. Religion. What? My brain is coming out my earballs. I think we're back. Let me know if this is working. Trying to pop the chat out. One sec, fellas. Okay, can you hear me now? Hello?
Hey, still
All
there?
right, let me open up this window here.
We might be back, maybe.
Are you there?
I hear you.
Okay, so am I back streaming live?
Every time I jump it ahead to the live feed, it'll buffer and send me back like 2 minutes. But
Rube
Trying to say
says
something
I'm
again?
back. The guys in the chat are saying I'm back. I just want to make